Hey everybody, this is Stephen Hartwell with Gladiators Financial Services. My website address is gladiators with an S, LLC.com. If you want to reach me, my email address is Stephen at gladiators with an S, LLC.com. I wanted to start out this podcast today by just, mentioning some of my favorite books that I'm reading currently right now. I just purchased Michelle Obama's book. I'm very excited about it. I purchased it today, so I'm not doing a review on that book today, but I just want to say for the record, I am very excited about reading that book because just off of the current advertising that she's been doing, I cannot wait to crack open that book from America's first African-American First Lady. So I'm very proud of her, and shout out to Michelle Obama. But I wanted to just kind of share on a book that I'm currently reviewing or in the midst of reading, and it's by the author of Gary Vaynerchuk. And this book was published back in January earlier this year, and it's titled Crushing It. And the subtitle is How Great Entrepreneurs Build Their Businesses and Influence, and How You Can Too. I am a total in agreement of leaders are readers. And so I surround myself and I try to absorb as much as I can from authors that put their life experiences in books. And so this book I picked up, and I always follow Gary Vaynerchuk, and I always loved his message, and what he's accomplishing right now is phenomenal. And so for me to just kind of read his thoughts and his opinions, it really brings a lot of value to its readers. And so that was the main catalyst for me to launch out in my passion and start producing content for this current podcast and this YouTube show that I'm currently doing. And he basically talks about how, he took a business, a mom and pop shop originally, and took it to over $80 million, and how he done it. And then there's a lot of other people that are, case studies in the books about them just launching out there and just basically talking about their passion. I struggled in business early off because, nobody was excited about my business but me. And so once I started kind of opening up my mouth and talking to other people, and telling other people about my business and telling other people about what I was doing, then, it sparked the interest in other people to inquire about what I do and how I can help them. So this book really was a tool to kind of help me to begin to believe and begin to give me another strategy in my arsenal on how to help more families and how to help more people on the knowledge that I have. So, shout out to Gary Vaynerchuk, who really, inspired me and was a catalyst for this current show. He talks about a lot about, techniques and strategies and just wisdom. If you don't have a strategy to win, pretty much anything you do, you got to have a strategy. I don't care what you do, and you may say, well, I'm not an entrepreneur, but still, if you want to climb the ranks of your job or academically, you got to have a strategy. You just can't go out there and just, cross your fingers and hope for the best. You got to be strategic in everything that you do. And so the outline in the book, some of the strategies that he covered, I kind of adopted them in my own business. And when one strategy does not work, that's your job to kind of huddle up and see what worked, see what didn't work, and recalibrate it and go back out there and win. And I just thought that was just a phenomenal book. I love it. I am an avid reader. Well, actually, I'm an avid listener because, honestly, I'm an auditory learner. So I have a membership with audible.com that I pay a monthly fee to. I purchased the book, and I just download it, and I just listen to it. The book that I bought today by Michelle Obama, she read the whole book, and it's like a 14-hour book. So I just kind of, put it in my car, and I listen to it as I'm going out throughout my day or in between appointments. And, I just listen to the material. So, if you the kind of person that, don't have a lot of time to just sit down, or it's hard for you to get through written material, you can get a membership with audible.com, and you can just listen. And so to me, I absorb it the same way if I was listening to the book. So I definitely will put Gary Vaynerchuk book at the top of my list, Crushing It. It's a lot of good materials in there for entrepreneurs or for anybody, any aspiring entrepreneurs. And then he also talks about a lot of motivational moments. So it's just a nice little tool that you can add to your arsenal. I will be keeping you guys up to date as far as what I'm reading at the moment of time. It's a lot of other books that I would love to review at this time. A lot of other books that I currently read that had a lot of impact in my earlier days of me starting my business. I'm just going to go through a really quick list of some former books that I was reading that kind of helped me when I started Gladiators Financial Services. Another popular author is Ryan Blair. His book, Nothing to Lose, Everything to Gain. A phenomenal. I mean, if you have a chance, YouTube Ryan Blair. He is awesome. He is a man that basically came from nothing and built a multi-million-dollar company. Another book that I swear by and that I live by, a book by Rory Vaden, and it's called Take the Stairs. He has basically talked about the art of self-discipline, and this is something that I really needed, and I knew I needed it, but honestly, there's not a lot of written material out there about self-discipline. And when I began to listen to the book, I listened to it for the first time, and then I had to go back and re-listen to it. And every time I listen to it, I get something different out of it. But I'm telling you, the principles that he outlay in that book and the strategic steps that he maps out in the book is phenomenal, and it had a very, 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 very large impact on my life. Because one thing that I did know, I had the passion and I had the drive, but I didn't have the discipline. And the discipline is the bridge that gets me from my desire to fulfillment. Because sometimes there's days when I get up, I don't feel like getting up. I want to hit that snooze button. I don't want to work hard today. Today I just kind of want to coast by my day. But in that book, he just talks about and breaks down, self-discipline. And when I started implementing a portion of what I learned in that book, I started seeing the ROI, return on interest from that book. And it would definitely motivate you. It would definitely shift the paradigm of your thinking. And I recommend that book. That is one of the top books that I would recommend to anybody who's starting out in entrepreneurship or academics or anything like that. It's called Take the Stairs, Rory Vaden. Also, a book, of course, I got to mention, shout out to Grant Cardone, The 10X Rule. I love Grant Cardone. He is a animal when it comes to sales, and he has a lot of wisdom. He has a lot of experience. I definitely love him. I bought all his books. Honestly, the second book that I bought of him, Obsessed or Be Average, I just kind of had to take a break because his work ethic is just ridiculous. Like, he was telling me, or he was talking about his routine, and I was like, okay, I'm not doing nothing, so I'm just going to pause this because his work ethic is ridiculous. So, but his 10X Rule, I love it. I re-listened to it over and over again when I first started out, and it definitely motivated me. Also, Joyce Meyer's Power of Thoughts. That's another one of my top ones because Joyce Meyer's really breaks everything down in this simplistic manner or the simplistic principle. As you can see, I'm really trying to say the word simplistic, but she breaks it down to where I can understand. And, you know, she's just a practical preacher teacher, down to earth. And a lot of her principles that she teaches, it resonates. So, you know, Joyce Myers is an awesome author, phenomenal writer. I've really been a fan of her for years. And that's really about it. I do have a lot of other books. You know, Instinct by T.D. Jakes, awesome. And I do have a lot of other authors or books that I've listened to and that I have read that I just can't recall right now. And but start with those. You know, I would, you know, go back through the podcast from the beginning and just write down a list of, you know, names and different things that I've said, and just start with those. And I'm telling you, your life and your mind will shift for the better. My name is Stephen Hartwell, and I'm with Gladiators Financial Services. Hit me up on my webpage. Just click Request a Quote. You can put in your information. You can put anything in that special message box. Or you can just shoot me an email, Stephen@gladiators.com. Give me thumbs up. Give me your thoughts on today's show. I would love to hear your feedback. If you need any type of financial services, such as insurance, annuity, retirement, you know, I offer free consultation. Anything that you're thinking about as far as your financial goals, I would love to be a part of getting you to that goals. I have a wealth of knowledge that I can share that will get you there. Thank you so much for listening, and have a good day. Goodbye.